Do you know how to show compassion? Okay, well, if you do know how to show compassion, are you showing it every day? My friends, are you ready to have your heart squeezed right now by me? I'm aiming at you to help me hit the mark today. Many dictionaries define compassion as sympathy or concern, which are all emotional responses. But the compassion transcends emotion and translate into action. You must show compassion. That just means you have to physically take action. Compassion recognizes the needs for other people, and let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in submissiveness of the mind. Let each honor others more than him or herself. Each of us must look out not only for our own interests, but also for the interests of others. Do you do that? Now note that phrase I just said, better than him or herself, and then look around at the people in your life. And then you need to ask yourself this question: better than myself? Is that how you're treating these people? If you tend to be self-centered, it's going to take a while for this concept to sink in a little bit. But also note the words, look out for the interest of others. Sometimes those others are badly messed up. Not easy to love. I'll give you for example. What about people that are in prison? Homeless people. You say, well, they got what they deserved. Well, maybe they did, but you don't always get what you deserve. But maybe you just didn't get caught. Hey gang, I'm Mark Height. Welcome to Hit the Mark today. Hey, do me a favor. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons for me. And if you enjoy listening to these videos, click on that little icon bell, and that just lets you know when new videos come out. Positively impacting people every day with the message of hope is the goal. I really do thank you for joining me on this journey. You see, I believe that growth and improvement cannot happen without hope. Remember, hope provides energy and brings relief based on the belief, gotta believe it, that things will improve, even in the depths of a crisis, when there really seems to be no light at the end of the tunnel. Hey, your comments are always welcome, and I really appreciate when you take some time to share your wisdom and your hope messages with not only me, but our group on ways that you hit the mark today. Okay, let's get back to how to show compassion. You see, when it comes to compassion, here's two more things that we need to consider and maybe try to learn. Number one, compassion really relates to the needs of other people. And number two, compassion really responds to the needs of other people. It's not enough just to recognize and relate to the needs of others. You really have to be called to action, on a practical level. Otherwise, your compassion is meaningless. Ouch. That gets you right there? I hope so. Compassion has no limits. Don't forget that. Here's a couple things that you might want to consider. Compassion sponsors a hungry child, helps change maybe a tire for someone stranded on the side of the road. It brings a meal to someone who is grieving, listens patiently to someone who needs a friend. Compassion gets its hands dirty. It writes a check, does a Venmo. It sacrifices its own agenda, schedule, desires, and dreams to meet the needs of another. So, coming for your heart, I said, right? What's your main concern in life? Looking good or doing good? You know, that's a tough question that you need to ask yourself frequently. With so much hate and negativity going on in our world right now, it's easy to lose your compassion, especially for this world that we're living in. So whatever the situation, challenge, or adversity we find ourselves in, you must be the example of how to show compassion. Hey, are you or someone you know dealing with pressure, rejection, pain, temptation, slander, lies? Boy, there's sure a lot of that all over the news, and especially social media. It drives me crazy. You know, are you one of those or someone who gets caught up in the verbal vomit and spews toxic thoughts into the world or into the minds of others? Where's the compassion when you do that? Remember earlier I mentioned I believe that growth and improvement cannot happen without hope. I said hope provides energy and it brings relief based on the belief that things will improve. Even in the depths of crisis, when there seems to be no light at the end of the tunnel. We're in that right now, my friends. This pandemic, this coronavirus. So, as I wrap this up, remember that compassion means to enter into another's passion. What's passion? Well, passion is enthusiasm, desire, excitement, emotion, or maybe even an obsession. That's what passion is. Okay, Mark Height, how can I enter into another's passion? I'm not sure how to do that. Well, let me give you a couple examples. Maybe it'll help you out a little bit. You know, you might, for example, find out why the other person is so stressed or depressed. What's preoccupying them? Why do they feel so down? And how can you enter with compassion and lift them up? Or maybe you have a friend who's been diagnosed with an illness. You know, even high blood pressure or diabetes, arthritis, or worse, cancer. What should you do when you're having to deal with someone with that? Well, as another example, maybe a family member is planning to have like a high-end wedding or bought a new home, you know, in an upscale neighborhood. Perhaps at their job, an associate just got promoted and the rest of the co-workers are envious and resentful. You know, attitudes are crazy, fickle at best, and can get outright ugly at worst. But the person who got promoted is beaming. Enter into their passion and beam with them. That's compassion. Okay, let's go. Ready? Maybe someone you know just lost a loved one and you don't really know what to say. Don't say anything. Just be there. If someone is hurting, hurt with them. That's okay. If they are happy, be happy for them. Aim, enter into passion. That's how you show compassion. Enter into passion. That's how you show compassion. And fire, some of us must work harder at this than others, but there's no opt-out clause. You know, there's a great verse in the Bible. 1 Peter 3 verse 8 says, all of you be of one mind, having compassion for one another. That includes you. So now you know a little bit more about how to show compassion. Go hit the mark today. And maybe pray for these folks right here.